everything is making sure everything is good. I think it should be fine now. Morning, welcome. First time seeing your name here on stream. Jet. How you doing? Is the mic sensitivity fine? All right, let's begin. I wanted to start at 1 a.m. on the dot, New York time, of course. But yeah, we just hit 1 a.m. now. So let me break down what I'm looking at and what I'm looking for today. Then, of course, you and anyone else watching will let me know what they are looking at. Actually, before we begin, there's another one of my accounts that I want to fund. I want to basically gamble the news on a separate account. I know that's not something anybody else wants to hear, but I feel as traders we do these things without saying. Anyway, GBPUSD, I'm looking at it from the monthly perspective. Last month and the last 2 months actually, I was seeing that we rejected off of this inversion fair value gap, the BPR right here. We created a high probability order block which we respected here and then here before expanding higher. So when we came down to this proportion block, because this now became a proportion block at that point, I was looking for a possible continuation higher. I was looking for price to continue all the way to that buy side liquidity, then eventually the one all the way up there. So yeah, seeing price return so sharply down all the way here with a change in the state of delivery the time we closed below this bullish candle made me start thinking that, well, maybe we might actually go for this sell side. Who knows, maybe a longer term we might actually come all the way down to this inefficiency again, you know. So this liquidity over here could be important, because keep in mind, every time we make a new swing low, we make a higher one and a higher one. So right now we are having something that looks like this, like sort of like a trend line that could be a low resistant liquidity run. So there's a possibility that price is just gonna run through all of that liquidity all the way to this sell side. But of course, one day at a time, I cannot really predict the future that far. Now, going down to the weekly perspective, on the weekly we've just been extremely bearish after clearing those highs up there. We've just been melting off, especially last week. We just had one solid bearish candle. So now, if we are going to remain bearish, one thing I'm looking for this week is that the week closes with a bearish inefficiency, right? I would like to see a bearish fair value gap to continue lower. But if we're going to be bullish, then let price trade all the way to this candle's low. If price can reach that exact level, that literally gets rid of the possibility of creating a bearish fair value gap. So that makes this buy side liquidity target to be possible before continuing higher, of course. So for me, I am watching these ads all over the place. Yeah, there's CPI news, I think in an hour, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure. Let me check my economic calendar quickly now that you've reminded me again. It's actually part of the reasons I went live to see. Let's see, GBP Wednesday, yeah, 2 a.m. So it's in an hour from now. So it gives us more than enough time to see what we are looking for during CPI. So yeah, right now we are tapping into this higher time frame order block, right? On the monthly perspective, this is the order block. Let's remove that. We've already pointed out how if price was to reach this level, there's no longer going to be a bearish fair value gap, and that could indicate a possibility of continuing higher next week. If we do create a fair value gap, then we could watch for a possible respect of that fair value gap next week as well. Going down again to the daily time frame, what have we done this week? Well, this week opened up here in this candle. We failed to take Friday's low. Yesterday we went as low as almost taking Monday's low. We also failed to take Monday's low. So now this failure swings, the failure to take the lows, is sort of indicating to me that we might be getting a little bit of strength in GBPUSD, and possibly we could see price gravitating towards this imbalance right here, right? So price could actually trade up to this imbalance on the daily perspective, just sort of like an external to internal range liquidity move. Now let's go to DXY and Euro to see if we have some sort of SMT at these lows. So note how Friday, Monday and Tuesday all failed to take the lows. Let's see if maybe Euro did. Okay, so I see there's a clear SMT right here. So Friday is here. Already from Friday we had an SMT, because this is Thursday and Friday having an SMT already. And then now this week we have another SMT, because yesterday we actually succeeded in taking Monday's low while GBP did not take Monday's low. So we have Monday there being swept yesterday on Tuesday. When we go to GBPUSD, we did not take those lows. So we have an SMT already. So this SMT could indicate that we are probably going to be bullish on GBPUSD. The thing is, this is not just GU that we are looking at for CPI today. And I think later in the New York session, we have unemployment claims, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. So keep in mind that there are two major news events that are coming out for GBPUSD this week. So I'm looking for a possible buying opportunity to this inefficiency. But we can keep in mind, we should keep in mind that anything and everything is possible. Now let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. Remove this side thingy. Okay, this is Sunday's opening price. So yeah, let's say right now we're aiming for this high, that buy side liquidity, because that's exactly where the daily gap is. Let's label that actually. Daily CB or buy side liquidity. So we got an SMT down there. Let's also delineate that. And what have we done this week? Well, initially we had a push up to the upside, giving us an imbalance. Price decided to disrespect that imbalance and create a new CB. Now the question now becomes, are we going to respect that CB to push down? But of course we didn't. We actually just came back up again, made it an inverted gap, and now price is sort of respecting it in a way to continue higher. So we might not even trade down to this BC right here. We might not even trade down to this. This might end up being a breakaway gap of some sort to continue higher. Let's make this a little bit more pretty. Something like that. I was looking for us to trade down to this level, then continue higher, but we might not even trade there. Let's look for the Asia session then. So on the 1-hour chart, what have we done? Sunday opening is right there. We got our SMT right there. On the 1 hour, looks like we've actually already bounced into this 1 hour gap, and price might respect it to push up. But if we are looking for a discounted buy, then it wouldn't be a problem waiting for that. So let's measure the most recent range. It's gonna look like that. Look at where the 50% is, literally tapping into there. even when we measure this entire range, the 50% is still within the same gap. So if we're really looking for a discounted area to look for buys, this could be the area. I'm trading futures, so let's see what will happen if I did something like that with a stop loss. Stop loss technically should be here while targeting that buy side liquidity. That's a 3-hour trade. If I wanted to set a limit, what would it look like? One contract is $200, which is actually a lot for me, but I'm willing to give it a shot. That's my phone notifying me that I've just placed an order. So I'm gonna have something like that set for now, and then we'll see in the next 15 minutes if we just run up or if we melt off and even make a new low of week, which is another possibility. So yeah, I'm open to anything. I'm not gonna force price to do what I want it to do if I know everything is possible. So yeah, so far morning SM, right? Keep alternating between your accounts, between the SM account and the PO3 account. But yeah, welcome. I don't even have the live stream going on the side. I have to keep on alternating. Let me put it on the side. Just 1 second. I wanted to mention earlier that even though we are looking at GBPUSD right now, because obviously it's a London session pair and it makes sense to trade CPI with it if you want to trade CPI, right? Which I don't advise anyone does anyway, but if you do want to trade CPI, this is probably a good pair to choose. But the thing is, we have to also be bullish on every other pair for us to really be sold in the buys, I guess. For us to be sure about what we want, we have to be sure with other pairs as well. If one of these pairs, one of these GBP pairs, misaligns or does not make any sense, then of course, why are we still there? So let's take GBP AUD for example. Starting off with the monthly perspective, seems like we rejected the previous month and now this month is pushing lower. Are we going to reach the opening price of this previous month, the swing low, or even lower than that? Who knows? We'll see. So not much information yet on the monthly chart. On the weekly, we are even failing to create any imbalances to the upside or downside, so still not clean here even on the weekly. On the daily, I see that we have relative equal lows down here, but price rejected away from it, pushed up, made a new high, then fell off. Let me remove that. So now seems like order flow is bearish, also considering the fact that we just created a daily CB over here. Makes me think we might use this CB to continue lower. If we are claiming that pound will gain strength in the short term at least, then this actually does not seem too unrealistic, right? It seems very possible for us to trade from external range liquidity back to internal, which is the daily gap. Let's see if we have some sort of SMT. So if, let's say, Euro AUD did not take the lows here, like the previous daily lows, see how we took the previous lows, then this would be a valid buy to the daily gap. So let's see what Euro AUD is cooking. Yeah, we actually took the lows also, so no SMT right there, no SMT. Would have been nice if there was SMT. So yeah, but so far, looking at it just on its own, it looks like we can come into that gap, then push down from there. So let's keep that in mind as a possibility. I'm not saying I'm trading it, of course not. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Going down to the 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour is actually that rejection away. It's already a fair value gap. Interesting. it's already a 4-hour fair value gap. So we are saying that we want to see price sweep this internal high that rejected away from the 4-hour gap, then continue lower, basically. That is a tall statement to make. Even though the 1 hour actually does look like a market maker buy model, again, even though we don't have any imbalances, which is not good, but the fact that we're not respecting order blocks, pushing up, just close above this as well, we could see a continuation higher from here, you know. So it does look like a market maker buy model, but this is definitely not something I would participate in. It's not clean. It is not advisable for anybody to touch this. So let's move on to GBP card. Actually, let me go try and make a cup of tea while then I'll continue. So just a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry for the weird interlude, but yeah, just wanted to leave the tea on the fire on the stove to do its thing. Yeah, where were we? So we're looking at GBP card now. GBP card has a potential possibility of creating a weekly CB for next week's price action. Of course, we have CPI today. We still have USD news, which affects CAD. So anything can happen for this gap to not even be created. So yeah, or we could just keep blasting lower, making this a possible breakaway gap. So I cannot put my hopes up there too much. When we look at the daily time frame, this was a very nice market maker sell model, in my opinion, at least. We have these tailless candles, as in no tail, no wicks. If you look closely, we don't have any wicks in these two candles, as a higher probability sell side liquidity. We also traded into this inefficiency on the daily. Gave us 3 chances to sell off from that daily gap, 1, 2, and 3. So Monday was the time we confirmed the swing high within this gap. So it wasn't too surprising to see Monday be the possible high of the week. Well, so far at least. It's not something too surprising because we already created the swing high within the gap. So a continuation lower, very likely, very possible. Let's skip straight down to the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart doesn't look the prettiest because we don't have a manipulation within the week, but we do have an SMT, I believe, with EuroCAD. So yeah, there was no need in a traditional sense for us to have a manipulation, a high of the week, before continuing lower. So this was interesting, but this does not look nice. I don't know what you guys see here, but I don't see anything. In my opinion, I don't see anything. Let's make this 7 and let's make the... I don't need all these stuff. I don't need the New York PM. Let's enable the weekly open. So over there, that's the weekly open. So right now we are in a discount. If you're looking for buys, this would be the place to look for buys, but I wouldn't say you should just blindly buy from these levels. Maybe you could, I don't know. If we have some sort of SMT with EuroCAD, let's switch over to EuroCAD. We can see that we're making higher lows, and we just created an hourly inefficiency there, so that could be used to push up below midnight, below weekly open, and yeah, discount of the range. We could, let's see EuroCAD. Yeah, EuroCAD, we have an SMT already. Euro just took the lows now, so yeah, we have an SMT at the lows. GBPUSD might be ready to take off from here. Honestly speaking, GBPUSD very capable of doing such for CPI. So far I'm leaning towards bullishness, but at the same time, when we sweep such a high time frame PDRA like the daily equal body lows, for me, I don't take this type of liquidity sweep as something I'm content with. Like, look at this. This is barely anything, right? For those that are putting their stop losses on the daily time frame, they will put their stop loss below the low, yes, but this is barely anything, honestly. You know, I'm not saying it's impossible for us to just push up, take out this high, then maybe next week we continue lower again, you know, because there is a chance for CPI to run up, take these highs, then, you know, then come down. It's still respecting the gap anyway, right? And it seems like that's the trend for most of these GBP pairs. We want it to go up, then down, up, then down. So far, GBP Swiss, I'm not gonna start from the daily time frame, but already looking at this massive rejection at the lows, we're definitely, okay, let me not say definitely, we're likely trading into this daily gap just by looking at the rejection alone. No higher time frame shenanigans, no whatever. I'm just jumping straight to the daily and looking for what I'm looking for. So here, if you asked me, we're moving from external back to internal range liquidity, and I think this daily gap is a very good drawn liquidity. And I think if you one person that's crazy with it, you could just enter. You just enter the buy right now, have a crazy wide stop loss, or have a stop loss right here. This does not look bad at all, actually. Look where we are rejecting from. We're coming off of an hourly gap. You could have your stop loss either at the other block here or all the way down here to the swing low. Maybe I'll put mine here in this last one, and then obviously targeting these highs. That's a nice 2R position. I wish I saw this earlier. I might have actually taken it myself. This is clean. This market maker buy model, very clean. I'll be so surprised if we somehow trade all the way down here. I'll be so surprised after having these hourly structures. But again, it's CPI, so anything is possible. But again, not all CPI, not every CPI is that violent, you know. So we could get a lackluster price action and nothing really happens. So expect anything. Expect anything is what I would say. Then of course we've already covered GBPUSD, and then now on GJ, same rejection, pushing up aggressively. But I think this is true for all JPY pairs, because when you look at the Euro JPY rejecting higher, CJ rejecting higher, even Swiss yen, which I don't have here. But yeah, every JPY pair, maybe USD JPY might have some issues, but you can see it's still rejecting higher. So yeah, if you're looking for a buy, if you're bullish on GBP and you're bearish on yen, which I am, GJ might actually be a better option for you to take. You know, GJ might be a better option for you to take, and we have a lot of room to run to the upside. So yeah, watching USD Swiss, I don't even know if I'm bullish or bearish on the dollar right now, to be honest. I wanted to ask you guys what you guys see on the dollar, because on the dollar, on one hand, I want to see us trade down into this discounted gap. As you can see, the one there around the 50%, which is where the order block is. Like, on one hand, I want to see us get there, because this would be a place that will be confident with like buying, right? But on the other hand, we're so close to the buy side liquidity that I don't even want us to give everybody else a chance to participate in the move to the upside, because giving us a 50% retracement is giving too many chances for people to get in on the move. So I don't want that. I just want us to blast off, but you know, I'm conflicted. So that's gonna make any of my analysis to be a bit too uncertain. So just the Swiss, for example, looking at the daily, see even more reasons why I would like us to trade down to discount. Look at this. We respected this gap, pushed up, second gap, but so far it is left open, you know, so we could still come to this other block, then continue higher if this is a market maker buy model, right? If we are in fact going for those highs that I marked out so long ago. I thought we were gonna clear it, but we didn't, so maybe now might be the time to do so. On the other hand, we also have this inefficiency, just like the other Swiss pair that we just looked at now. I think it was GBP Swiss. So yeah, near short-term drawn liquidity right here into this gap, but keep in mind that we also have a daily gap below, so we could just bounce up there then come down again. But yeah, so far that's what I see. I don't see any entry I would have taken here though, unless I was looking at the order block entry. When we closed above, I might have entered. I would have suffered a bit of drawdown, but that's cool. Or if you were risky, you could wait for this order block instead, with a stop loss at the swing low and targeting the gap for a solid 2 hour. But I don't see any overwhelmingly obvious or good trade that I would have taken personally, so I can't say much. Jeez. Okay. On the side here, I'm still trying to fund an account of mine for the news. This is weird. I think my account got erased and I have to create another one. I know you guys cannot see what I'm doing here on the side, but I'm trying to open a fresh account on the side for some shenanigan. One is to 2,000 leverage. How expensive is oil with this broker? Let me check. I know the spreads with Xness is insane. Whenever I'm trying to trade oil and I see something real nice that side, so I want to be ready for it. Okay, so click on next. Then we're selecting server 2. And this is where we log in. Alright, logged in. I'm looking for oil. Okay, we got US oil. What's the difference between US oil and US oil.s? One of them is the contract, the other one is just written WTI. How am I supposed to know which one is tradable? So people are just giving me too many options to be picking from, and I don't like that. I don't like having options. Jeez. What am I even looking for actually? I'm looking for silver, not oil. Jeez, I don't know why my mind told me it was. Don't know why my mind told me it was oil that I was looking for. I'm looking for silver. I was looking for silver. I think if I bring up the chart, you guys will probably see. Okay, it's already playing out. So much unswept liquidity. So much. Okay, now that this is done, the thing is I'm conflicted here again. One, we have a tailless candle, right? Because we just opened up on Sunday and started blasting higher like no one's business. That's the first thing. But the second thing, the most important thing, is that on a higher time frame, like the monthly, I'm bullish because on the monthly, it's telling me we're going for that swing high. We're rejecting away from these other blocks down here, these last 3 down close candles. On the weekly, we also just tapped into this inefficiency, right? Into this gap. Tapped and rejected away from it. But then again, look at this weekly candle. We have no tail. We also have a weekly CB all the way over here. So is it likely that we go to this CB then blast lower, or are we gonna come for this liquidity then take off from there? So after taking this, give us a weekly tail, then we can aim for this gap up here. That's the question. So it's like a bit of a weird area where it's like a 50-50 thing, but when you go on the 1 hour chart, this is looking like a very good market maker sell model coming up. looking like a very good one, especially considering that this is our Sunday opening price. So we're in premium, it's a Wednesday, we are respecting changing the state of delivery over there, everything is looking crisp, and I would have been in this trade if I saw it earlier. I actually saw it earlier, but it was still here. I was waiting for after my analysis to go back to it, but it's already looking like we're pushing. Do we have an SMT with gold? I believe we do. Yep, we do. We swept the highs at 8 AM highs. We swept it around Asia at 9. So something like this. This is a very tell me this is not an A plus setup that we're building up here. Like, I mean, we don't have to go all the way to the Sunday opening price, but I mean, look at this, guys. What do you guys think? SMT, changing the state of delivery, hourly structure, Sunday opening over there. Let's label that. So now it's a matter of looking for an entry. It's a matter of looking for an entry. I would have entered this other block, but again, I was not here. This was our second chance right here during Asia. We have a CB right there and another order block. So yeah. Oh, WTI is tradable on futures. Yeah, no, that's what I figured. Let me check. It was actually silver that I wanted to check. I wanted to check the spreads on XNES and HFM. So it doesn't oil. Let me go to silver. I know silver's spreads in general is always weird. Silver always has that weird super wide spread. Let's do this template white. Okay, that's a bit too wide for me. I'm looking at it here. It's a bit too wide. I don't like it. What about SM? Where do you trade silver on mostly? Do you also trade it with XNES? Or do you trade it on another broker? Of course, the best option would be to go for futures. So let's say I went, because I'm logged in now on my futures account, right? So let's say I went to the micro over there, and that was my target. What is that? What is that setup? What is this? Huh, this is interesting. So I had a buy setup thingy going on here. Now, after seeing this, now I'm wondering which one is going to hold between this change in the state of delivery with the SMT we have at the highs right there, or the fair value gap to complete this market maker buy model. Oh yeah, by the way, that buy side liquidity I think is the weekly gap. It's within the gap actually. It's not even, it's way up. It's the daily gap. So yeah, what do you guys think? Buying the BC or selling the lower time frame shift? What do you reckon? Because I see this to be very tradable today. I just don't know which side we are trading. Does euro dollar look buyable? It looks very buyable. I wanna buy it. I'm gonna buy it. Let's see. By the way, I'm also looking at other charts on the side in case you guys are wondering why I'm just doing things sort of unplanned. It's not really unplanned actually. I am looking at other charts. I'm in drawdown in this account, fighting my way back out. I'll readjust the stop loss and TP later. You know, guys, I'm actually scared of that. This GBP order. I'm scared of this sell, this buy. I mean, this guy. Let's go sell it with normal 7 contracts. Are crazy. Imagine, like, imagine selling this on thingy on futures. That's insane. That's insanity. So yeah, but like, what do you think? Because now we're at a weird place where I'm thinking, are we just gonna continue higher to complete this market maker buy model? You know, to that buy side liquidity, clearing all these unswept liquidity levels here, right? Or are we just gonna look at the lower time frames, like the 4 hour here, we got a change in the state of delivery, or the 1 hour here, we got the same thing going on with a CB there and another order block, an SMT. Are we coming down to this Sunday opening price? So that's the thing. I feel like I should even make a poll for this. I don't even know how to make a poll. I've never done this in my life. How do you do it? How do you do that? How do you? Won't silver just follow gold? Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, they should be 1-to-1. In a perfect world, they should be 1-to-1. So let's see. Let's see, what do you guys think? Okay, since we're conflicted with silver, let's go over to gold and try to deduce something. On gold, I'm also 50-50 because on the weekly, look at this weekly chart. I'm not going to remove my, actually, let me even go to the monthly. It's cleaner on the monthly. Look at this monthly chart. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say more with this monthly chart? Look at this. Fair value gap. This is the first time since the year began that we actually took out a previous monthly low. Like, this is historical. We've never actually taken out a previous monthly low since January. Where's January? There's January right there. This right here is January. Over there. Since January, we have not taken out a previous monthly low. Look at that. January, Feb came, we took the low, turtle soup, and pushed up. Since then, we've never taken out a previous monthly low until now, in all the way in November. So now it makes you think, are we going to continue higher? Are we going to continue higher internal to external range liquidity? Or is this just a retracement on the daily for us to continue lower? Because on the daily, we have these little relatively called lows, these very juicy lows residing right there. Very, very juicy lows. And are we gonna call this the high of the year or what? You know, ideally on the daily as well, I would prefer to sell from the order block, right? I wouldn't like to sell from the gap. I would have preferred to sell from the order block. So is this just a continuation higher, or are we going to start selling off from this? Maybe a short-term sell into this daily gap, the lower gap that we just created yesterday. Maybe a short-term sell, then buy up, then sell again. I don't know. Gold is a little bit overextended in a way as compared to silver. So yeah, that's what I mean by 50-50. I do not know what to do. Are we gonna respect? Like, look at this. Look at gold. See gold right now? I don't see anything. But look at silver. We see something. We see too many things. We see a market maker buy model coming up here. You know, like, look how price has just been bullish the whole time, following up an uptrend. Is this just a continuation? Are we coming for those highs? You know, or is this the beginning of a new trend to the downside? So yeah, that's what I mean. There is too much structure. there's a lot of structure here, so I can't say what I see. I don't even know where I want to trade this. I want to trade it. I think I'll trade it on XNES. I think I'll take it on XNES because I see the spreads on HFM is super wide. Okay, we have 15 minutes until the GBP news, and I'm really thinking strongly on deleting this pending order. Let me show you guys where the pending order is. I think for those that were here at the beginning of the stream, there, right there, strongly thinking of deleting this. I haven't even looked at NAS today. Well, I have, but like this session, I'm obviously bullish there. I'm waiting for the all-time high, but I haven't looked at it this session. I'll get back to it when I do. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Euro. 15 minutes. Everyone is quiet. What do you guys think? Firstly, on silver, and secondly, do you think it's a good idea to leave this order? I believe my reason was there at the beginning of the stream. I'm slightly bullish on this, looking for a type of this discounted BC. Then we continue higher. But it's CPI, so if it's actually violent, then I might get my stops slipped, you know, if it's that violent. It's not always the case, but it can be sometimes. What if with silver we just wait for a third confirmation for us to be bearish? So let me pull up the chart again. Where's that chart? So like here we already have one entry being the change in the state of delivery, right? If you wanted to blindly enter this order block, you would have been in already. But let's say you're waiting for a second entry, and somehow during Asia you were watching the charts, right? And during Asia you noticed that we created an hourly CB right there. You could have entered this CB that is aligned with the order block, right? So CB aligned with order block. You might have taken your partials already by now, who knows? Maybe you don't want to hold for too long, you just wanted to take that sell side and you're done, because anything can happen from here, right? So yeah, now my theory, my thought is, what if we waited for another fair value gap right here without a quick rejection like we're getting right now? So let's say the body of the candle closes somewhere here. So this is what the body would look like, something like this. Then the next hour pushes up, then we can look for a continuation down. I wouldn't like a tail to be created here, a quick rejection all the way to here, and then we tap into the CB. We're likely just rejecting the lows, and we're probably gonna continue higher. So not a good idea, not a smart thing to do if that happens. I mean, look at this. This was not the cleanest yesterday. Like right here was not clean, but Asia going into London today, beautiful. Even now, this 15 minutes could just take us lower. Short gold. That's crazy. Damn. Just rejected quickly. Would you sell it from this gap? Would you do something like this for intraday? Sell side, gap, entry here, stop loss right there, target like a 2R. Would you do this for an intraday position on gold, or would you leave it with the SMT at the highs, of course, and everything else we just highlighted? Interesting times we're in. Silver is really feeling like sells. It's the weaker one, obviously, because of the failure swing. But honestly, I do not know. I don't know what direction the market's gonna go. And after being in such a 50-50 position, I am reluctant to pull the trigger now. What was I looking for? Let's head over to YouTube and see what's going on there. Oh, somehow there are 5 people watching this live right now. Thank you guys for joining. I didn't expect anybody to join, especially when I didn't plan it or let anybody know. So thank you for joining. If you're liking the content so far, if you're liking the accessibility, if you're liking everything about it, please don't forget to tickle that like button right there. And of course, share it to anybody else that's interested. I'm gonna be live for probably another hour. I would have been live for New York today, but I don't know if I'll be feeling like it. But I'll see. GBP collapse. Jeez. What happened with Ukraine and Russia? What are people talking about Ukraine and Russia here for? And also we have Nvidia earnings report. So Nasdaq is expected to be volatile this week. Interesting. Interesting, very interesting. A part of me just wants to remove this pending order. This right here. Remove it or keep it. We have 6 minutes to go. What do you guys say? Should we leave the order, allow the odds to play out, or delete it? I have no clue. Alright, so I've decided I'll wait for the last 2 minutes before the news event. So what's gonna happen in the last 2 minutes? If we start gravitating towards that buy limit, I'll leave it be. If by 158 we are still where we are, or we are pushing higher a little bit, then I'm going to delete the order. So I'll have 2 minutes to decide, and yeah, to decide on what to do and how to take it. In the meantime, let me just be setting up my XNES, since we decided to go with XNES. GBP JPY was very clean though. Very clean, in my opinion. It's almost time to decide, but let me quickly add funds to my XNES account. So now it's 2 minutes. We are still consolidating. I'm just gonna close this, giving it 45 seconds now. Gold move a little bit down. Thoughts? Yeah, with gold, I still think the sells are possible, but with that sharp displacement, I feel like we already missed it. I feel like, okay, well, actually not. Could still go back to that gap and run down to the sell side. So, I don't know. That's why I also didn't know how to take, what to do about silver, you know? Like, should I wait for the possible H1 gap that will be created, then sell off or not? I don't know. So I'm mostly just waiting now because of the fact that I'm 50-50. It just makes me just want to wait. Anyway, let me delete the GBP stuff because I don't like the feeling I'm having with it. Let's do that. And then we do, like, instead of taking this, I would rather take it on the micro. But let's see if it would have played out. It's always interesting to watch anyway. Let's see if it would have been tagged in. Let's see if it even does anything, because sometimes you can just decide not to do anything, right? You can also decide not to do anything. So let's see. 8 seconds. And 1. Look at that. Would not have been tagged in. We almost got tagged in, but I wouldn't have been tagged in. Nasty stuff. But as we outlined, we are short-term bullish on GBP pairs. Remember this H1 that we talked about on GA, and then the daily gap up there. A very nice rejection away from it. G card. The body still stayed within that same gap. So yeah, at least our short-term bias was correct. GBP Swiss finally reached it. Remember when I said we could just blindly buy now because of this rejection away from the other block? It was a nice 2-hour trade. GBPUSD, I didn't really like what I saw there, but yeah, played out, but I just didn't get tagged in. So either way, there's no regret. I wouldn't have been tagged in anyway, you know. So if we get a double purge, that would be nice, because now that we've swept the highs, if we somehow come down to sweep these lows, then I'll be more, should I say, more confident in buying, especially during New York, during the, I think we have unemployment claims. So if unemployment claims takes us taps us into this, then I'll be more likely to buy it than not. GJ, of course, is pushing higher. The cleanest one in my opinion was GBP card. Like it, I mean, not GBP AUD, because firstly we had a defined area where we could put our stop loss below the mitigation block or the breaker, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, below this block right here. Secondly, we have a clear target and so many unswept liquidities here. So yeah, even though we had these equal lows here, this is just a retracement, by the way. On the higher time frame, it's just a retracement to continue selling it. So on the daily, we just wanted to scalp till it gets there, then we continue selling off to the equal lows, you know. So it was clean in that view, you know, that we coming off of this scalp, maybe TP there, maybe take a partials now, who knows, I don't know, whatever your trading style is. But yeah, this was the cleanest GBP card. Second cleanest, because we sort of spiked down below that gap, but with the body stayed inside of it, perfectly inside of it. Look at that. So your stop loss being at this swing low. This one has the highest risk reward ratio, because your entry would have been in the gap the time we were talking about it. It was in the gap, stop loss there, and your TP would have been all the way up here, trying to make a new high of week, and that's an 8-hour position. So yeah, this one has the highest risk reward ratio. If we actually close bullish in this hourly gap, I mean this hourly candle, and we somehow create a higher fair value gap somewhere here, well, I think the low of the week would have been made at that point, because it's Wednesday today, so we might actually get a continuation higher from there. But again, who knows? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just another student of the market. Just another student. So anything is possible, anything is likely. Anything is possible and anything is likely. I wanted to buy euro, but it's just chilling around for too long. Yeah, no worries. Good analysis. Thank you. I wanted to buy euro because of this 15-minute structure. Well, actually on the 5 minutes is a little bit better, but it's not clean either way. Look at this. This is ugly. I wanted to buy this other block basically. It's one of those gamble trades that I take because of SMT with GU, and we've been consolidating. Usually when we consolidate, we're building orders for an expansion, right? So yeah, this purple area, that's a daily gap, the first daily gap. So I'm targeting that one, and I'd like to see us push up from here, but nothing clean yet. Intraday, nothing clean. Let's pull up this indicator. We took Asia session low below the midnight price, came to the other block. I decided to buy, but with like one contract and tight stop loss, so not really risking a lot on this. And then the other one is silver. This is the one I wanted to take, but this one I cannot even decide to risk a little because silver is expensive. Even the micro version of silver is still expensive on futures. So yeah, I need to get something higher probability for me to pull the trigger here. What else do you guys see out there? Oh yeah, let's go to Nasdaq. Let us go to Nasdaq. I'm very bullish on this, even though everybody wants to sell. At the beginning of the week, I mentioned that on the live stream. I mean, not the live stream, on the recording, that everyone wanted to sell the continuation from the CB to these equal lows and equal lows and equal lows, right? Nothing wrong with that. I actually partially agree with that. But at the same time, what if this is just all a deep retracement to continue higher? Because when we look at ES, that already made new all-time highs and stuff, ES, we're just returning, like, look at this. ES has perfect liquidity down here, like equal lows, literally perfect equal lows. So likely to go down there, but at the same time, we're trading within a breaker, right? And an order block. Look at that, fair value gap, breaker / order block, and it's in the discount of the range, of the most recent range, like that. So yeah, on one hand, looking for higher prices. On the other hand, look at those liquidities. It's like anything is possible, but I'm leaning more bullish than bearish. I want those lows to be left as is, then maybe one day during some violent event we can look for sells, you know. So going down to the hourly, actually from the 4 hour, I was looking for a potential low of day to be formed within this 4 hour gap, right? This 4 hour gap just so happened to be aligned with a high probability order block. A high probability one is one that's in discount, which we're in discount of the weekly range because that's the Sunday opening price. It's one that took liquidity, which we did, and now immediately rejected away from it. So I'm looking for us to bounce into this order block, then continue higher. That's the plan, at least. How is it gonna pan out? I have no idea. We don't even have an SMT at the lows. Maybe with YM we might have. We don't even have SMT with YM either. So it's really, yeah, it's really a let's hope for the best kind of situation. We also have the same order block going on here. Yeah, remember, actually, if you guys remember my analysis from Russell at the beginning of the week, I said I was bullish because of the weekly. Look at this weekly time frame. Look at this beautiful chart. Coming off of this weekly BC aligned with an order block right there. We have buy side liquidity up there, and we have this one, of course, that we just made recently. I said to you guys that I was looking for a 4 hour change in the state of delivery. Now that I'm actually here, you guys actually reminded me of something. Look at this. We have that 4 hour change in the state of delivery. We closed above a previous down close candle, and we even did so with an inefficiency. So this this has my attention. Honestly, this has my attention for the rest of the week, especially with Russell. It has tendencies to be moving so clean, all on its own, unprovoked, while the rest are just, chilling around and stuff. So let me set the order on this, because I had an order set with MNQ, and now I'm thinking of getting rid of it and rather set it on Russell. Or should I set it on both? This account is literally in drawdown, some major drawdown, actually trying to come out of it. So I should be careful with my choices. I think I'll set it on Russell. I think I'll have one set on Russell while the other one on NQ. Let me just do that instead. That's actually smarter than whatever I was trying to decide. How much is it here? $1,000. No ways. No way at all. We are good. Okay, let me take this call. Just another spam call. Nothing special. So let's see, how much is this here? See, here's a lot better. We can actually put 2 contracts, so we can have a partial at some point. So yeah, so that's my conclusion. I'll take one of the trades on Russell, then the other one on Nasdaq. If we do respect this and continue higher today, then creating a new 4-hour BC somewhere maybe up here would be higher probability as a continuation, and we can almost safely say that the low of the week has been created. We can almost say that the low is in now. I mean, at that point it's probably Thursday, so we can mark this out as the low of the week at that point. And especially if we respect this order block, fair value gap combination, any other fair value gap that we have here, to me, would be more likely to work out than not, especially now that it's like maybe Thursday or Friday at that point. So yeah, this looks clean. I try to avoid catching the beginning of the market maker models like this, the low risk entries. I try to avoid it, but this actually looks clean. Then this is the next best thing, the order block. Really typical highs at the all-time high. Look at all that liquidity right there. The monthly opening price as well is somewhere up there, so we are in discount. Where's the monthly opening price? Oh, it's actually not up there. It's all the way down here. Crazy. Alright, so what's GBP up to now? Now that the news has come out, still chilling, not doing much. Well, GU is just chilling. GJ is pushing aggressively. I like that. All the other pairs are pushing aggressively, of course they are. Let me check this call. Hello? Yeah, nah, no, there's there's no need for you to say sorry, man. It's all good. It's all good. I just said it quickly and muted myself. Hopefully, you should be able to hear me now. Should be able to hear me now. I was looking at this hourly structure, and I'm thinking to myself, this actually looks decent. If we can get it, because we still have about what 30 to 40 minutes for this hourly candle to close. If we can get a fair value gap there aligned with this down close candle, then that's a nice area to look for sells, with your stop loss being at the last swing high right there, you know. And then I saw on the 4-hour, even though I was conflicted whether this fair value gap was gonna continue higher or whether this other block will push us lower, the fact that we now closed below this down close candle again, we closed below it here, makes me think this could act as a resistance to push lower. So if you're using the 4-hour for your entry, your stop loss might as well just be at the last swing high that rejected off of the first order block. This is what I was thinking. So I was just fiddling around with my mouse the time I was on the phone call, but yeah, this was my thought process. So I was thinking something like this. It would be better if this was aligned with a 4-hour fair value gap, but of course we can't be asking for everything to align, you know. But I'm leaning more towards sells and silver, honestly, guys. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm leaning more towards selling this than buying it. I'm leaning more towards selling this, and we should get some sort of movement today because we have. Let me stop guessing. Is it even today? It's not even today. Damn. The unemployment claims I've been talking about is actually tomorrow and not today. I've been mentioning unemployment claims, but it's not even today, it's tomorrow. Yeah. So I was hoping that unemployment claims was gonna do something nice here, but that's probably tomorrow. But today we do have some orange folder news events, and we could still get some volatility from it. So let's not brush it aside too quickly. What is Euro up to? Euro has just been chilling for too long at my entries. Still around my entries, isn't it negative now? It's like minus $31 there. I just want to see an expansion. If we can clear these highs, when it stops to break even. That's Asia high, I believe. Yeah, it is. On the 1 hour, we can see the bullishness of it, but I cannot see where to enter from. This was the only solid entry that I missed. I have this purple area left on my chart, this purple area here, because I wanted to keep in mind where the daily gap is. Look at the daily, that daily CB. See how we closed above it? Yesterday, I thought we were going for the sell side. Then we rejected this much away from it. This made me now think, this rejection made me now think, well, we're likely going to go to that other fair value gap over there. This is everything, but this is the most recent price action. But with such a long wick, another thing to mark out is the 50%. I don't even need the quarters, I just need the 50%. The consequent encroachment is very sensitive. So if for some reason I get stopped out, now I could still look for an entry somewhere around here. After clearing all these lows, it's also aligning with this massive imbalance. That's now an inverse, of course. Isn't this down close candle a 4-hour order block? I mean, a higher time frame order block? I mean, it is. Look at the 1 hour. This last down close candle we came. So this is an order block and fair value gap entry. But now that we've taken out the external high, are we really gonna push all the way there or not? That's the question. I'm leaning more towards bullish price for euro, by the way, but I just can't see where a good entry would be. I took a risky entry here, but with a very tight stop loss, with something I'm willing to lose. and willing to see how it plays out. So yeah, but that's all right now. To be honest with you, to get some clarity, yesterday we bounced off of the fair value gap with the order block. I would now like to see an expansion up, a 1 hour closure above this level, because if we can get a fair value gap aligning with this level around New York session, that would be ideal for a continuation play. So if we get something that looks like this, then we could look for a pullback, and then at this point I would definitely be leaning more towards that daily CB, and at this point it's easier to put your stop loss because you would know where the swing low is. So yeah, this is what I would like to see, but of course the market does not always give us what we want. It does what it needs to do. It's efficient in that manner. Let us see. Is there anything else you guys see? Because I don't. Let's head over to other social media platforms on my phone while we wait. I'm actually glad that I'm glad I took out that GBP. Well, sort of glad, not really. This pending order would still be nice if we get it. Let me put an alert there, just a simple alert. If we get it, then that's a double purge, right? Sweep of the highs, run to sweep the lows, and then continuation higher. But technically speaking, look at this, we already swept the lows before we went for the highs. So what do you call that? Yeah, we already swept Asia low, then went for Asia high. So I'm not sure how to look at it. I'm gonna likely gonna get stopped out now. So you're gonna hear loud
stop filled.
So now, as I said, I'm still waiting for that hourly shift because I'm leaning more towards bullish price action, even though on the daily for DXY I still want to see us push up. So it's one of those days, you know, I still want to see this as the draw, but I'm still looking for a pullback, and I want to play that pullback because of yesterday's rejection. Look at this candle, has no tail. Okay, well, we do, but barely. Right there. You know, at least if we came to this volume imbalance, this tailless candle, this order block, then I'll definitely be looking more towards buying than selling any of this. But yeah, I would like to see something like this to participate in any buys without disrespecting the 50%, the consequent encroachment of that daily tail. So there's a condition to it. I'm not sure what else we want to see. Let me check for something else. Okay, so how much am I down? I'm down by $120 for the day on the 50k account, so that's not too bad. Just waiting for another entry. The only thing that's really having my attention, guys, I'm not gonna lie about this, is silver, but it looks like it doesn't want to give us anything, so just waiting and waiting for something to magically pop up. Gold is moving, I mean, if silver was moving like this, then I'm not even surprised. I don't think gold also gave us an entry. It didn't even give us an entry. Look at that. Well, didn't give me an entry I would have taken. I would have taken this CB. Remember the setup looked something like this. I wanted to enter there with my stop loss at this candle high or even the CB high. And then I wanted to TP here. This was my setup. 2R, 3R actually. And I was not even gonna get filled. So if they're both melting like this, I don't know what to expect now. The 15 minutes though on silver looks solid. Remember the time I was saying the 15 minutes might just reject away from it. Look at that, it's doing exactly that right now. So yeah, I do not know how to feel. I really, now with this melt off, I'm really leaning towards this Sunday opening price being our target. But I'm not gonna rush this, I'm not gonna FOMO this. If we get that CB, as I pointed out earlier, then that makes it an even higher probability setup. I'm definitely gonna take it if that happens. Definitely gonna take it. Actually, let me even set the order now. With the displacement we are getting, I think that's good enough for me. So it'll look something like so. Entry there. Stop loss at the swing high. Actually, even here, it's good enough. Then we TP at the Sunday opening price. So this is the order. That's the last swing high that I'm putting my stop loss at. Not a good idea. Let me delete this for now. Actually, not a good idea because I want to see how this hourly closes. I don't want to get tagged in without a fair value gap here, but that's what the order would look like. And there was something else I wanted to delete on the other side. Oh wait, this thing actually didn't adjust the stop loss for the other one. What the heck?
Order filled.
I did not even know that. It left it exactly as it was. That's insane, and now I'm losing more money there for no reason. Jeez. $60 more. Okay, so here's Nasdaq that's left open. That's fine. Not too bad. But I thought they were linked, so now I have to check my my trade of 8. They're not linked. Click again on it, then we select on the 9 so that we can link it. Okay, now I'm sure it's linked and we should be good. We should be good. What is I looking for again? Euro dollar. Someone here is saying they want to sell euro dollar, and this is their stop loss. Let me delete all of this. Paste. So the stop loss is at that swing high. I guess they're using a 5-minute structure. If that's... I want to see what their chart looks like.
Hello, sir.
A second, please. Let me just map out this.
Okay, so they're looking at the 15 minutes. Let me show you what their chart looks like. They're looking at this time frame, and they took a sell stop at this low, but this is what the chart looks like. Stop loss up there, TP down here. So they don't believe that this rejection is gonna continue higher, basically. That's interesting. That's an interesting way to view it. You know, if dollar is gonna continue and clear that high, the equal highs that we have, without giving much of a discount, then yes, I agree with
So I
that.
was saying like it might be just liquidity sweep for the.
Oh my gosh, that was way too loud. But yeah, if that's the case, then this setup is very valid in my opinion. Your GBP. So clearly GBP is much stronger, but that doesn't help me. Daily. I think I might have to go now because I'm hearing hooting at the gate. Who is they? Hugh Clark. This guy is here. Welcome, big man. Let me show you who I mean by they, if I can. So I'm gonna share my Telegram screen for just a short while. Hugh Clark, that guy. And then yeah, but it's just another. He doesn't trade ICT's concepts. He doesn't trade SMC. I think he trades supply demand or something. Trades a whole different thing, and he's live right now. So I was checking his charts and stuff. And they look interesting, but I am not interested. So I do have to go. GU looks tempting. Tempting for what? You wanna sell? You wanna sell GU? Or you wanna continue to buy? I think a sell is more appropriate now. Looking at the SMT and everything. Alright, I'll be back soon. Muting myself. Okay, I'm back now, but I would have to go in about 13 minutes because I'm waiting to see how silver's hourly candle closes. But in the meantime, looking at euro, I don't know if I believe the sells right now, to be honest. I know we could potentially sell off from this gap. As Hugh Clark was pointing out, he wanted to sell it all the way to here for a 5-hour position. And then on my side, I'm looking for a sweep of some sort of liquidity here, but I'm looking for a continuation higher to the daily CB. The daily CB you are talking about, Neil, from GU, was the target as well, was my target. That was the target for the buys, but I never got tagged in because my entry was here. I was looking for a retracement of 50% of the range, then CPI to push us higher, but of course we didn't get that. We're not getting that, so it's just more waiting. No trades, no trade idea either on my side, so let's just wait and see. But I'm guessing you want to sell from the daily gap, or do you want to buy to the daily gap like I did? Because I also wanted to buy to the daily gap. Crazy. And there goes gold, still not giving the entry I would have taken from the 15-minute CB. But yeah, I still feel like silver is still promising. I know it sounds like I'm marrying a trade idea now, but yeah, still feels right. We've got about 10 minutes left for this hourly candle to close. We'll have an hourly CB there. Fair value gap 1, fair value gap 2. Look for a retracement. Look to this one to be a breakaway gap, then a continuation lower. For our time frame, it will be a possible fair value gap, but it doesn't have to be. But definitely a mitigation block now, because we failed to take the highs. So this becomes a mitigation block that we could take down back to the Sunday opening price. So I like silver's structure. Let's see. I guess it's just a thing of, chances, odds, probability. So I can't push it too much on this. If I had the funds, if I had the ability, I would buy on one and sell on the other one. Because on one hand, remember, I still want to buy this 4-hour gap and continue and finish this market maker buy model, right? Looking at this, complete up there, stop loss here somewhere, and then on the other hand, I want to sell from here, push it down to the Sunday opening price because we're in premium of the range and of the week, So yeah, I would have done both if I could, but I'm not going to do that. Not even gonna try. I think that's mostly it. If you guys have something left, I have 10 more minutes, then I'll go over it quickly before we call it a session. I'm not gonna stay here till the end of the session or something like that. Not today. But yeah, I've already pointed it out at the beginning of the stream that there's no need to stay till the end. There's only GBP's news that we have, so I'm here just for GBP. Oh, look at that, NZD card actually dropped. Does it mean AUD card did the same? Struggling to do the same. But we have AUD news tonight during the Asia session, so maybe finally this structure will form during Asia. Maybe we just drop off, because we have that daily internal to external range liquidity. Daily, fair value gap, sub the highs. I don't think we have an SMT NZD card. We actually do have an SMT. Look at that. So look at Monday. On Tuesday, we failed to take Monday's high. But when you look at AUD card on the other side, we actually took Monday's high proudly. So we have SMT instead of a high time frame PDRA. Lower time frame confirmation is usually fair value gap 1, fair value gap 2, then sell, or use an order block like I do now, and sell. So for example, something like this. That's why I thought yesterday the card news was gonna do something nice with this fair value gap combination with the order block. and even this one that we also closed below, but it's been just meandering for a while now. What time is the news actually tonight? It's at 3 a.m. so it's technically tomorrow London, and it's a speech, so I don't think the speech will be the driver for this sell. I think we might just be ready to sell off now. I think, but I don't know. I do not know. It also might just be the dumb idea to be trying to sell the stronger one when you could just look at NZD as the weaker one and look to finish the market maker model there instead, you know. Might just be smarter. But I'm not doing that, so what do we call me? Wanted to buy. Did you not buy already? Are you still looking for the buys? Are you still looking for the buys from the whatchamacallit? After the displacement, you're looking for a new fair value gap to be created? Maybe you're waiting for a new fair value gap, then you're looking for a continuation play. A new BC on the H1 or M15, is that what you're looking for? Oh, nah. You're just gonna buy now. Let's go to the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour. You're waiting for a new 1 hour gap to be formed here, or are you fine with the 15 minutes one that formed already? Maybe you're looking for something like this. We got a liquidity sweep here at the lows. That is a thick line. Got a liquidity sweep. You're looking, now that we've gotten a displacement, you're looking for something that looks like this. Sweep of this low, then continuation to the daily CB. Maybe this is what I give up. Exactly. I wanted this or nothing. You know, we didn't get this, so I deleted my orders. Not even gonna lie. Deleted my orders. There's no need to push it. But on the futures, you can see the manipulation was a lot more. That's why I really wanted it to come down to these equal lows. I don't know, man. Let's see, how is Hugh Clark doing? His sells are still at his entry, basically. So I wonder if his sells are gonna work out or not. But it could. It honestly could. I just don't know. I've been clicking around the entire morning. I don't see anything clean, so yeah, unless you guys see something, then of course please do let me know. If you want me to cover something, I will. And I apologize if there's noise now in the background because the standing fan is on. Nasdaq. That was a nice buy during Asia from the new day opening gap this Asia session. I saw it. I was tape reading it, but I didn't participate in it. So let's go over it real quick. I don't have my indicators on, so I'll have to draw it manually, which is always fun, you know. Where is the... Oh, it wasn't even the new day opening gap. It was just the volume imbalance. This is the new day opening gap right there. It's the gap between the opening price of the new day and the closing price of the day before, and the closing price is right there. So a new day opening gap would look something like this to there. Stretch it out for the whole day because it's as important as the whole day. So yeah, I thought this buy was from the new day opening gap, but it was just a simple volume imbalance entry. So it's sweeping liquidity there, volume imbalance retracement. We have another one down here, but I don't know if we got to it. We did get to it, and then yeah, price just pushed up. So people participated in these buys from the volume imbalance to the buy sell liquidity. Very short and simple trade. I didn't. I'm only seeing it now, but I think after the stream in about 2 minutes I'll start watching Nasdaq. I'll only send updates if I see anything interesting on the group, the Telegram group. So if I feel like most of you guys here are already in the group anyway. There's only 3 of you, so yeah, you should be in the group anyway. NZD/USD, very nice and beautiful market maker sell model. I did not see it. I think NZD as a currency is just weak. Yeah, because all the other NJ charts are pushing up except for it. See, NZD as a currency is just weak. Okay, if that's all for now, then let's end the stream here. Stay safe, good luck, and good trading.